The Virtuos protocol saw massive growth in the run-up to Christmas, and then as soon as the clock struck midnight, it went down almost just as fast, losing 90% of its value from the all-time highs. So if you got in early, you were counting the money, and if you got in late, you were left with empty pockets. Today we're going to look at what the Virtuos protocol is, and whether you should be parking your hard-earned money into the Virtuos protocol, or whether you should be looking at something else. With what the Virtuos protocol actually is, and it's like a Shopify for AI agents. And AI agents are bots that can perform tasks autonomously from humans. So you give them a job and they go off and do it without the need for human intervention. Taking a look at a couple here, we've got game, and this allows characters in various different games to speak independently of coding, so you don't have to code up the characters with exactly what they're going to say. This game AI agent will speak fluently with the person that's playing the game. Then we've got Luna, which is an AI agent that's an influencer. We can see her Twitter here. She tweets out regularly and she also goes live, so that's interesting. And on the Virtuos protocol, we can also create our own agents and we can try out the game on the Virtuos protocol as well. So enough of that, let's get into the technical analysis. And starting off with CoinGecko, we can see this huge run up in the lead up to Christmas and then massive sell-offs. They tried to recover there in January, but the sell-offs continued. And looking at Dex Screener, we can see that from the all-time highs, we had a 90% drawdown. And we need to be careful when we're looking here because it looks like the chart has bottomed out here, but we would have also said that here, and then we would have gone on to lose another 50%. So the token still has a $500 million market cap. So we need to be careful when we're saying the bottom's in. Just because we had a few days of outperformance, this could easily go lower again. So that is something to keep in mind. But if you are on the higher side of the risk spectrum, if it did reclaim these levels here, that would be a 2x. And if it reclaimed the level here, it would be more than a 3x. If it got back to the all-time highs, that would be almost a 6 or a 7x. So it's high risk, high return. If you think the Virtuos protocol is going to go back up, then you could make a quick 2 or 3x. But let's have a look at the tokenomics to see who's buying it and who's selling it. So looking at the small holders, that's the people with about $100 of the coin, and we can see in December they massively fueled the growth of the protocol. They were the only ones buying, and basically the whole time medium holders, that's like $22,000, they have been dumping it the whole time. And you can see all through October, November, December, they were dumping onto the small retailers. And it's even worse when we look at the large holders. They've been dumping it ever since they got their hands on it. And we can see through October, November, December, they were aggressively selling. It does appear to be bottomed out now, that the large holders aren't selling the token anymore. But we can see even in the last couple of days, as the price started to go up, more large holders started to sell the coin. Looking at the new users, we can see it's been declining all the ways up until recently. Then we had a little spike, and then it's starting to decline again. So the tokenomics and the people buying and selling, it doesn't look too good for Virtuos protocol. Let's take a look at the transactions, revenue and fees, and we can see that the usage of the protocol was going up all through December as the price was rallying, and it even increased into January as the price was falling. But since then, usage of the protocol has absolutely fell off, and we can see it's at a really low point now. Now that can be a good thing or a bad thing, because when no attention's on the coin, that means we're probably going to get the best price on it. And if usage comes back to the protocol and the price goes up, we will make a nice profit. So people obviously aren't seeing the value in these AI agents at the moment, but maybe in the future we're going to get better AI agents and people are going to start using it more, and that probably will send the price up. So overall, would I be buying the Virtuos protocol? For me, it's a hard no at the moment. It doesn't make sense to buy it because there's still a lot of downside, because we're at a $500 million market cap, which is quite large, and nobody's using the protocol. And there's so many better coins that we can pick with less risk. Like if we look at BNB here, it's up 7%. which is really good, and there's much less risk with this. If we look at HBAR, a bit more risk, but we still could do very good returns. And there's just a whole host of better coins that we can buy on virtuals. And even if I was buying something on base, I'd probably be looking at a mem coin like Toshi as opposed to picking up something like virtuals. I just think there's less risk and there's more chance of solid upside when you're buying something like Toshi. So for me, I'm not going to be buying virtuals. I think it's too risky, and the high returns doesn't justify the risk for me at the moment.